Gentlemen and ladies, we're back out. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching this from. I'm going to say watching this again. I'm going to say doing push ups from, doing something from. This was launched and intended to make you have activity in the morning, move your body first thing in the morning, and subsequently make the difficulty of movement increase with time, So I believe that the toughest moment of the day should be created by you, rather than the things life will throw at you. It's a couple of things that will throw at you today. When you create the toughest moments of the day yourself and overcome it, then that's the energy you go into the rest of the day with. Everything is nothing. So let's get going. Myself, I've been a thousand this morning. Let's the breakdown of what we're doing. What are you doing? What's the breakdown of what you're doing? You can put it in the comments, put it in the chat. So let's go. For the 5, counting down to 1 enables me to do over 1,000 push-ups. So get your chalkboard, get your paper, get your gym mat, get your in your house too. If you have a membership in the gym, okay, that's fine too. Get your weights ready. Let's go. This is your workout at night. So it's ready. Whether you're seeing this video in real time or you're seeing it as a video on demand, let's go. Life is a bumpy road all the way through to the end. It's not going to get better. The illusion of things getting better is supposed to inspire hope in us. But in retrospect, if you look at where life has been from now till the farthest you can remember towards when you were born, you could see that the challenges became increasingly and increasingly more, you know, and the reward for overcoming one big challenge is a bigger challenge. So as you grow muscle, as you grow financial muscle, as you grow mental capacity, mental muscle, the challenges that come are some of the ones that will enable you grow beyond where you already are. That's one side of it, one aspect of it. The other aspect is the fact that we already are social beings that have refused to settle. We've already decided, without knowing, that we'll keep ascending through life. So there is an insatiable appetite to rise in almost every man, you know. And the contract is such that you refuse to be happy until you get it accomplished. So as soon as you accomplish that one thing you think is your biggest problem right now, you know, and it has a way of tricking your mind to feel like I'll be happy after I've done this. But as soon as you go past this, you set a new goal already on the day before you finish that assignment or that task, you know, and the celebration for this very transient, and then you are pursuing the next thing, you know, and then you're pursuing the next thing. And a couple of years have gone by, and happiness has eluded you because yeah, it promised to get better and it didn't. So what is key? Remember what I'm saying. Romanticize the process. Enjoy the process. Live in the moment. All those yogis, those people who preach, not attaching to the past, not caring too much about the future, just being in it now. I think that's one of the most powerful messages from those centuries that have transcended up till now, and that still stands, the test of some of the things we're talking about. We're going to have to learn to be happy in what we're doing now. And it's a blessing if what you're doing is what you decided to do. You're already a blessed person. And one of the ways to also appreciate and be happy in the moment is if you have to, what's the word for thinking about moments in the past? If you have to do that, then count your blessings. If we practice counting our blessings, if you just sit still and think from this moment backwards, what are all those prayer points, wish points, goal points we've all achieved or we've achieved in the past 1 year, past 5 months, past 2 years? When you sit and reminisce, you're going to see them all ticked in your head. And the essence of counting your blessings so that you'll be thankful to divinity, to God. You'll be thankful. Just sit sometimes and just breathe and think about all the boxes you've checked out of life, all the times you met your goals, all the beautiful things that happened to you, even the ones you didn't deserve. All the lucks you had, pieces of luck you had. You know. So this exercise is one that can bring happiness closer to you. You know. But aside of that, if we think that we would walk into happiness when we achieve a certain thing, that's an illusion. You know. So I'm not prophesying anything. I'm just saying that so far in your life, look at where you are. Again, saying after you get this, you get happy. Again, you know. And the last time you said that, this is the moment you were in, and you're not quote unquote happy. So it doesn't really get better in that sense. You know, let's be in this moment. Let's enjoy the next couple of push-ups. But that's not even being in the moment. Let's enjoy what we're doing now. Let's enjoy speaking now. I'll have to remind myself to enjoy this mic and this person that's listening to me right now and what I'm doing right now and be in this moment and savor it and be around for this moment. So that I don't miss this moment. Sometimes we miss moments because like when you say you miss something because we are not present for that moment. And it went by. And then every day you are now engaging in memory pornography. And that's making you to miss the moments you're in also. So you're now thinking about when we were. I remember the days when we were. And then nows, series of nows are passing you again. And it continues like a loop. So let it heal all that. Let us sit in the moment. The goals we have set, the things we have said that we want to do. As we are in them, let us enjoy them. Let us trick, train, ask our brains to enjoy what we are doing now for whatever goals we set. And that's how we set it. We set goals and then we put stops, we put actions that would achieve the goal with. When we are doing these actions, let us be in the moment. And when you practice this long enough, happiness, you touch happiness in those moments. You feel those moments. You experience those moments. So that you don't miss those moments when they're gone. That's all. A lot of talking happens in the world. And a lot of projection happens through speech. A lot of deception happens through speech. A lot of what could be happens through speech. And when you meet a very good speaker, somebody who is very intelligent and talks good, they could trick your mind. I listened to a Kevin Gates clip where he mentioned that you're not very skilled with reading beyond people's words as they speak, reading true intentions, reading true to intentions with the words a person gives you. If you're not very good with using words as material to judge intention, then forget about words. Observe action. Observe action. It takes skill to use words, to engage with words. Otherwise, somebody trick your mind. Somebody who's talented to speak will trick your mind. Look at what people are doing. Anytime you feel like learning something from somebody you admire, remember what I just said. Place this somewhere at the back of your mind as a mental model. If you want to know why this person made a lot of money, look for all their action points if you can find. Forget about what they're teaching. Once in a while, you get a teacher who is talented to teach, a teacher by calling. They tell you everything they know because it's a calling. It's something that God puts in them, you know, to explain things to people after they've experienced them. Once in a while, you see people like that. They'll teach you word to word exactly what they went through with honesty, with vulnerability, and you pick all the lecture points from their words. But that doesn't come all the time. The rest of the time, you're dealing with people who know how to talk good, people who have perverted or thwarted that talent, that skill, that gift of speaking to where they trick people with it. You know. So if you want to learn something from a great person, you want to learn something from somebody who you think knows something and you want to know, look at their action. Look for all the do, do. Not the do's they say you should. The do's they are doing themselves. If you're privy to see them, watch what they do. Watch their routine. Watch. Forget about what they say they do. All of us will project. I can sit down here and tell you things that I want to do the way I want, and I'll say it as if I do them. And it even helps me, to program myself to get those things done. But if you're somebody who wants to copy how I got here, for example, you know, you have to be very skilled to be able to look through my words and actually see how I got here. But if you don't have that type of skill, just look for action points. Look for everything I've done. Look for the done, 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 and then draw your interpretations from there. And then action is what allows you to. It was a DMX quote that said that uh, I saw a quote from DMX on video where he said, "Trust people to be who they are. Trust a snake to bite you. Don't wish for a snake not to bite you." When you domesticate a lion, then you kills the owner 50 years later or 20 years later, that's a person who wished he could make the lion dog. But a lion instinctually is not supposed to be a man's friend. So trust a lion to kill you. Trust a snake to bite you. Trust a person to do what they've done. What we're going about doing is trusting people to do what they say. And we've been broken a couple of times doing that. Use the dons. Accept you're very talented. To look through words. Otherwise, you get yourself tricked. when you have mental recesses or mental breaks between somebody talking to you or you talking to somebody, in those moments, in those breaks, when there's no stimulation going on mentally for you, physically, count your blessings in those moments. Think back to all the good that's happened to you from 1 minute ago. The fact that you're alive, because you care about life and you're alive now, and be thankful for that. Then think 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days back. Search for points where you are grateful. Search for all the good that's happened in your life. Search for all the good people that are in your life mentally. Search for all the people you love that are alive, that are in your life. Search for all the goals you'll be able to accomplish by sheer discipline, by luck, by somebody coming through for you. Think about those moments. You know, think about just beautiful points, all the beautiful points of your life, where you are grateful, where you were grateful. You know, and do this every time you have breaks. You're not walking in that 3 minutes. You're taking a walk. Try to clear your mind. This is mind clearing. This is therapy. Counting your blessings. Counting all the good in your life. You know, comparing yourself to people may not do it. You know, but if you must compare, you compare down. When you do this exercise, you got a person who's wishing to be where you are. I remember when you were in that place and you were wishing to be here. Now you're here. You never took out time to say thank you to God. You never took out time to say thank you. You know, so take these moments and be grateful for life and see happiness stay with you. You know, this will be 100% happy moments. You'll never do this exercise and not feel happy. So the often you do it, the often you're happy. And then you make it, scatter it all over the day. Now you're happy every day. Every woman I know is pregnant before they got pregnant. Every woman I know has their midsection, the abdomen sticking out as though they're pregnant. So when you now get pregnant and the stretch happens, you now blame your big midsection on pregnancy when it has always been like that from when you were younger. It's only about two people I know in my life that have flat tummies as women. And even those ones, they are not the reason why their tummy is flat. They are slim people. And it becomes frustrating because aesthetically, every woman wants to attempt to have a flat tummy. It looks better aesthetically and it's even healthier. And men will now get caught up in trying to burn fat, you know, whether it's extra abdominal or intra abdominal fat. And that's not where the trick is. That's not where the trick is. The trick of forgetting a flat midsection is not burning fat that is in your tummy. That's not the trick. The trick is developing the muscle. There's a muscle here called the rectus abdominis. It's like it's a flat muscle, you know, that covers the anterior abdominal wall. So there was a time years ago I asked my mom to take her tummy in. She said she had taken it in. I said release it. She said she had released it. There was no motion. I couldn't see any appreciable motion. I asked her again, I said, can I take it inside? She said, I should take it inside. I think was sitting the way it was sitting. I said, let it go. She said, let it go. No change. You know. So at that point, she had got to the point where mentally she was moving the muscle. The muscle was moving physically. And the reason is the muscle had no tone. The muscle was now flaccid, of course, from stretch, multiple stretches of pregnancy. But before the stretching starts, this person does no physical activity. They do nothing to maintain the tone of this muscle. Of course, when the stretching now happens, it completely kills off, you know. And the trick again is when you're doing the sit-ups, don't ask to burn fat with doing sit-ups. Don't tell yourself that if you burn fat, you have a flat midsection. That may or may not happen. Your best bet is that the muscle has tone. Just like when I say flex the bicep, this bicep, and I go like this, and you see, so it swells up. And when I let it go, it goes down. When I flex it again, it swells up. When I say flex your rectus abdominis, you see, I'll flex my own. You can see like my six pack, you know. When I want to let it go, and I let it go. When I flex again. So if you do episodes of flexing this muscle, whether it's in the form of doing sit-ups, whether it's whatever movement variation, what it does is it gives this muscle tone. It makes the muscle to be able to flex. Now, how it does the trick of giving you a flat midsection is, as I'm talking to you right now, unconsciously, I'm talking with this muscle. If I want to stand up unconsciously, it helps to stabilize my trunk while I try to do activity. So there are a couple of muscles that help you stand up. One of them is the muscle of the bum, the one in the glute, you know, then this one, then the one in the calf. All these muscles that cross joints. This starts here, crosses here. This one crosses these joints. You know, they help you to perform action that involve those joints. You know, but if this was not trained, it will not participate in stabilizing this joint when I attempt to stand up because the muscle also crosses this joint and attaches there. You see, but when the muscle has tone, when the muscle can flex, because you've trained it to flex, most of the activity you do during the day, unconsciously he will participate. And the moment this muscle participates, it pulls in by itself. So when the rectus muscle participates in action, what it does is to pull in. So you're going around throughout the day, your rectus pulling, you know. So when it pulls in, it gives that flat you want. So you want to wake up every morning and do sit-ups. It directly engages this muscle. You want to do leg raises, because the muscle attaches here. It helps you raise your leg. Take it down, raise your leg, take it down. When you do the type of activity, you do it every day. The muscle gains tone. Now, while you're talking, the muscle is stout and it's involved in speech now. And it's inside without even you paying attention to it. Now you have flat tongue, you know. And then every time you do activity, the muscle is in. The other time is relaxed when you're sleeping or you're resting. The moment you want to do something again, the muscle is stout again, you know. So that's how they say people have six packs. That's how they say people have flat tongue. That's how it happens. It's the muscle that does it, does the thing, pulls everything inside. So the fat is flat. The fat is still there, but it's flat. The one at the back behind the muscle is still there, but it's fat because the guy is like a door that closes, and then it gives you that flat look. When you let it go again, it goes. When you want to do something again, it comes in. This is not you doing it. This is it happening by itself because the muscle has tone now, so it can now, without your permission, move and control your midsection because it can. Some of your ladies have never engaged this muscle, so it's just sitting like that. It doesn't have the capacity to even move. And then when the stretch of pregnancy happens, it completely loses that capacity. It won't move again. So let's get these facts straight in our head, just in case you're trying to burn for it. It's not those things. It's harder to go to it through it, to get through to it that way. This is how it will happen. So get that muscle some tone. Do some of these workouts and then watch what happens. Have you ever seen somebody making gestures when they're alone or talking to themselves without even knowing? And they go And it's genetic sometimes. I do it. My father does it. I've seen a couple of people. I have people who are very elaborate. They don't even know. Get quiet and start. And don't know that they know that. That is a person who is supposed to be speaking to people. That's a person who is supposed to be doing action, who have not done those things. So the body takes over and is doing it regardless. So they go. When you expend the energy in action, in those moments when nothing is happening, you're going to be resting. Because if you're doing action, as I'm doing these push-ups, all the muscles that are involved in push-ups, like the pectoralis muscle, this one on the chest, like the deltoid muscle, like the ones at the back, the trapezius muscle, some of the ones, the subscapular muscle, the boxer's muscle, serratus anterior, some of the muscles that are involved, they'll be resting throughout the day, because I've expended energy through them at the beginning of the day. So none of these muscles will move without my permission. So I realized that one day, one time, when I was working out frequently, I could be